I'm sorry. Were you two having a moment? I can leave y'all be.
What? The grav cycle? I'm a pilot.
Uh-huh.
It's called a pre-flight inspection.
No judgments here, huh?
Hello, I'm Louise, and today I'm joined by Matt.
Hello, Louise.
Hi, Matt. You've been playing Disintegration, which, as we can see, has flight and shooting and people on the ground and looks exciting and interesting. Talk to me about it.
Okay, so Disintegration is quite an unusual cell, and it's a sort of a union of FPS and RTS. As you rightly pointed out, you're kind of flying around. You have a grav cycle, which takes up your FPS element, so you've got like normal guns, special weapons, things like that. But at the same time, you are controlling ground troops as well. So you've got like a team of soldiers that you can direct in certain areas. You can get them to do special attacks. So it's a really interesting cell and quite an unusual one as well. I think it requires a little bit of explanation.
Yes, it looks incredible, but it's important to note that this isn't just any random indie game. This is coming from serious talent. Tell me about that.
Oh, totally. So it's from the co-creator of Halo, Marcus Lito, and it also has involvement from Mike Gutman, who worked on the SOCOM games, and it's been published by Private Division, which is Take-Two's indie division. But it doesn't look or feel like an indie game. So the dev team is a mix of people that have worked on AAA titles, as we've just discussed, and loads of burgeoning new talent as well.
So what's interesting here is you played the multiplayer, I think you said you played 5v5,
Yeah.
but there's obviously a campaign here as well. But how does it work? I mean, do you have to think of individual strategies? Do you have individual grav cycle types? Do you have classes? Talk to me a bit about that.
Yeah, you do. So the campaign is 12 to 15 hours long, and you'll be playing as one person in that campaign. And I presume there's probably room in there for customization, but the stuff that we played was a 5v5 capture the flag game, and you had a choice of different teams, and all of those teams had different sort of skills. Like some were kind of glass cannon, kind of sniper focused teams that could do loads of damage but not take that much. Some were kind of overtly defensive, and all the skills on your ground troops reflect that kind of design and kind of purpose as well. So the one that I kind of gravitated towards, if you'll excuse the pun, they almost looked like medieval knights.
Okay.
So they were kind of heavily armoured.
Of course you went for that.
I mean, they looked amazing. My sort of grav cycle had essentially like a giant crossbow.
Okay.
So very, very defensive, lots of kind of healing powers, slow damage output, but like kind of big hits when they needed to. And it was really interesting in a sort of a 5v5 capture the flag environment, because my ground troops had specials that would kind of zone off areas, so I could lay down mines or do like rocket barrages and things like that. So you can be really tactical with it. Like the maps are designed so they're going to be choke points.
Okay.
So there were definitely areas where I knew people were going to be coming out with the flag, and I kind of lay down mines, get ready to rocket barrage it, and kind of be at the other side when it happens. So like just on your own you have opportunities for kind of flanking and outflanking and kind of closing off areas, and that's before you start kind of working with your teammates. I think it's going to be like tactically it's a lot slower than most FPSs, but there's loads of room for thought and planning.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is the fact that obviously so many capture the flag games you're looking at, you can barely know what's going on. You need to be really close with your teammates as things are really, really fast. But this must slow everything right down. But it doesn't feel laborious to go around in this tank.
No, not at all. They're very, very mobile. It definitely feels different. Like it is slower in terms of the way you move, and you've obviously got an element of our good old friend verticality, and
yes.
You do have to go up and down, and you're kind of flying over things as well. And there's a kind of sort of floatiness to all that is slightly confusing to start with. So you're not going to be sprinting along and zooming around. There is a boost mechanic, but I mean it does feel a lot like powering some of the vehicles from a game like Halo, like
okay.
the sort of the kind of the floating tanks and things like that. There's definitely a similarity there, but it is definitely slower.
Yeah. And
I think that's a good thing in a lot of respects, because it totally changes how you approach stuff. You're kind of thinking more about where people are going to come out. You're not going to be able to just run and gun, and it's encouraging you to think more about stuff. So I think if you are tired of that twitchy iron sights run and gun kind of Call of Duty play, and you want something a little bit slower where you have to stop and think about what you're doing, and for me personally, I'm well into that, because my brain isn't quick enough for a car game.
That's it, you're too slow, Matt. You're too slow.
Maybe in my prime, but not now. The kind of mechanics of that I think are really interesting, and it's something I think a lot of people are going to get behind.
Offense. Deliver cores to win.
So I think we can already take from that you're enthusiastic about it. When is Disintegration out? Do we have a date?
We sort of have a date, so we're looking at Q1 or start of Q2 2020. So not long, and when I played it looked like it was in a fairly advanced state. We didn't get any footage of the campaign, we didn't get hands-on with the campaign, but certainly the multiplayer stuff felt very finessed, and again, does not feel like an indie game.
Add it to your must-play of 2020, which is becoming a ridiculous size of list. It's absurd.
Help! Getting hit! Stop!
Your team scored. Round over.
But yes, as ever, let us know if you have any questions about Disintegration, pop them in the comments below, and we'll try and get Matt to answer them. I will force him to the keyboard if necessary. Please drop us a like if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe to Logitech G for more videos just like this. If you do already subscribe, which we really, really appreciate, please hit that notification bell, not the bell of awakening, so that you know when our next video lands.